What's going on, y'all? You're now watching the greatest channel that has ever existed. My name is 𝘰𝘰𝘯𝘵, and I truly appreciate you guys for being here with me. So I'm just going to get directly into this video right now. I'm just going to show you how to do some liquidity pool farming so that you can take some of your value from your Pulsechain. I know we all have Pulsechain tokens, and the value of Pulsechain is reducing every single day dramatically all the time. Wow. So the only way to fix this is to make some profits from liquidity pool farming. Right now I have like about $8,000 of profits, and I'm making about, from the $8,000 of profits, I'm making 104% of APY right now from $8,000, well, about $9,000. This $9,000 ends up being worth about $16,000 in 1 year. So that's a pretty good return on investment. You put $8,000 in, you're going to get about $16,000 out, or 183%. So you almost double your money. So this ends up being about $24,000. The value is actually going to reduce. It's not going to end up being about $24,000. It was end up going to be in about maybe $19,000, $18,000 in total profit. So I put in 8,000. I'm going to get about 19,000, something like that, which is still a lot of money. Still a ridiculous amount of money. And I say that because the APY is going to reduce constantly throughout the year. But it's still going to be worth a lot of money. Okay, so to show you how to do this, I'm going to do something very similar. I'm going to do incentive token that's paired with PulseX token, okay? And you're going to get about 122% APR return on your investment in a year from now. That's what the calculation is, right? So if you put in $100, you are going to receive about $122 of profit, of pure profit, calculated right now of the APR. Again, because this APR constantly reduces, it's going to end up being about, maybe you put $100 in, you're going to get about maybe $60 of profit or $70 of profit. But who cares? You're getting free $60, $70 for not doing anything. Okay. So the first step to do this is to click on this liquidity pool token that you want to get, and this farm that you want to create. So we're going to click the incentive and the PulseX liquidity pool. Then you want to click get incentive and PulseX. And I don't have either of those tokens, right? So I don't have any PulseX and I don't have any incentive tokens. So that means I'm going to have to trade for both of these. I have a limited amount of Pulsechain right now. I don't have that much Pulsechain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to trading. I'm going to trade Pulsechain, which is what I have for some PulseX. I'm going to trade about 1,000 Pulsechain for some PulseX. I don't know why my thing is acting weird. Confirm swap. So I'm doing a very, very limited amount of Pulsechain and PulseX. In fact, this is a little bit too limited. Let me reject it. Let me do 10,000 Pulsechain and PulseX. I think that's a better swap. So 10,000 Pulsechain for PulseX. Cool. Click confirm. And then at the same time, I can also do, 10,000. Let me do some 10,000 Pulsechain for incentive token, because that was the other side of the liquidity pool farm that we're going to create. So I do that for incentive token. That only gives me 0.160 incentive token. And then I also agreed to swap it. And because the previous swap that we did is not over yet, you're going to see it pop up. You see it has one pending transaction. That's fine. You decide to continue with it, and it's going to do the first transaction before it does this next transaction that we just did for switching Pulsechain for incentive token. Okay, so as you can see, the first transaction went through. And let me see, maybe even the second transaction also went through at the same time. Yes, both transactions went through. All right, so it's kind of confusing to see that both transactions went through. Okay, as you can see, I have some PulseX. I have about, 32,000 PulseX, and I have 0.16 incentive token. Both of these are worth about the same amount of money. So what I do is I go to the farm, right? Go back here to incentive token and PulseX. I click this get incentive token PulseX liquidity pool. Okay. And then I do like this. Let me see which one is worth more. 32. Okay. So this one is worth a little bit more. So I'm going to go in this direction. Anyway, so what happens is that, so what's going on is that the Pulse chain that I have in my account and the incentive token that I have in my account is literally worth the same amount. So I create liquidity for both of them, and that's how people are able to trade their tokens. So if someone wants to buy Pulsechain, I give them some of my Pulsechain in exchange for the incentive token, and vice versa. Okay, so I'm the liquidity provider. Okay, I give it to all people that want to have liquidity. So what I do is, let me do like this real quick. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to click that. Sometimes one is worth a little bit tiny more than the other. So I have a little bit more incentive token than PulseX. So I have to click PulseX because that's the maximum PulseX that I can have. And that's going to allow me to enable the PulseX. Okay. Because I traded both of them. I traded them like maybe 30 seconds after the other, which is, really minor, but it makes a difference in this. Anyway, so I click enable PulseX. Click use default, go down to next, click approve. And then after I click approve, then it has gone through. Now I click supply. So I can supply this. And then I confirm the supply. Okay. So 32,000 PulseX has been deposited. 0.16 incentive token has been deposited. Is going to give me these rates for the PulseX versus the incentive token. I click confirm supply. I'm going to have to pay a couple of cents. Yeah, I'm going to have to pay about 27 cents. Let me make it cheaper. It's going to be cheaper than 27 cents. When I click the low. Okay, the transaction has gone through. So now I'm going to have to go to add liquidity. So I go back to the farm. I click incentive token and PulseX. I click enable. You can see that the enable button is now possible for me to be enabled to allow this pull to happen for me. Like I said, I click default. Pay a couple cents, approve it. It's been submitted. There you go. So now, as you can see, the contract has been enabled. I can view it on Pulse Scan if I want to. Not really necessary if you want to go into details for that. Blah, blah, blah. Then I go over here and I click on stake the liquidity pool. Okay. Stake liquidity pool. A little bit of tokens that I have is actually not that much. So what I do is I click maximum amount. This is the, so the amount that I'm staking, that I'm providing as liquidity, so people can trade back and forth between PulseX versus incentive token. But my liquidity, the amount of tradable assets that I have is only $1.82. It's very, very small. I'm only doing this for, research purposes, for educational purposes. That's all I'm doing. So that's why it doesn't matter. That being said, it's still going to give me an ROI of that $182. It's still going to give me $438. And I think this is if I come here and compound it every single day, which I'm probably not going to do just for $8 or $1.82. But anyways, I click confirm, and then I have to pay some of the coins. I'm just going to pay a little bit of the coins. I don't want to pay that much, so I always do the low amount. And currently, right now, you actually don't pay that much for doing the low amount in your MetaMask, so you'll be fine. And there you go. It is done. So if I come back here in about, let's say 10 minutes or 15 minutes, this zero, you see it's already changing right now. This zero is going to have like 0.001 amounts of dollars in it, okay, or the incentive token. So it's going to give me some return on my investment. I'm already doing that right now for the other tons of money that I have into Pulsechain and PulseX. And that's how I'm making my money right now. So I'm not going to sell my Pulsechain right now because Pulsechain is going to do, let's say 100x worst case scenario. It's still going to do 100x, right? In the next 2 years by 2025. So you want to stay into this ecosystem. All right. And I'm telling you this because I thank you. I love you. I appreciate you. Let's get this money.